Ginette Boudreau from the Health Promotion Office, tuning in to Facebook Live to talk to you about goal setting. But before we get started, the presentation you're about to view is the intellectual property of the Department of National Defense. Any reproduction or retransmission of the slides contained in this presentation is strictly forbidden. Some topics discussed in the webinar may be sensitive in nature and may not be appropriate for children. We ask for parental discretion. This is a nutrition and a goal-setting presentation, so it may not be so serious for the kids. Please understand that the people's stories are their own, and if they're shared in this webinar on camera or on chat, it's not to be discussed, I guess. But this is Facebook again, so people will see our chats. So, why are goals important? Have you ever made goals for yourselves before? Have they ever have a positive influence on your actions? Goals are important for motivation. I see I have 4 people. Hi. Goals are important for motivation. For example, they provide a sense of direction, something to strive for, and increase the feelings of success when they're met. Goals are therefore can build confidence, which in turn can enhance motivations. My past goals, I've been really good at creating fitness goals, but it's a work in progress for my nutrition goals. For example, some things that I've been really good at that I was able to set goals for myself was to get a platinum on my force evaluation and to become a qualified lifeguard within the 6 months from start to finish. Those are some goals that I have been able to set for myself in the past. Some other goals are to make healthier... Nova. Someone's here. Other goals are to avoid nighttime snacking, for example, or to provide more healthy choices in your day for a better snack. It could be alcohol in moderation. Goals are specific to anyone and everyone. Apologize for the dog. So when you're setting a goal, you want to create an action plan. Be smart. And I'm going to talk about SMART goal setting in a bit. But your goals should be clear between what you want and what you should. There's a difference. Identify your obstacles. What's stopping you from reaching your goals? And identify solutions to overcome these obstacles. Reward yourself. Okay? Make sure you write your goals down. Make it visible so you can see it every day. Okay? And when we reward ourselves, we want to reward with something that's not going to bring you back 2 steps. So for example, if your goal is to eat better, to have more fruits and vegetables in your diet, then don't reward yourself with a bag of chips, for example. Reward yourself with something different. It could be a night at the movies or something else, a trip somewhere, or a new article of clothing. But you want to try to avoid going backwards in your progress. Okay, so SMART goal setting is specific. Be specific on what you want to achieve. Make sure it's measurable, a clear benchmark to know where you're succeeding. Achievable, allows you to stretch but within your reasons. Be realistic. How important are they to you? And record your progress, your time. I'm going to go more in depth into that later on at the end when I want to talk to you a bit more about goal setting. So the one thing, if nutrition is where you want to improve on your goal and improve and change, then there's some steps that you have to do to kind of reach that. For one thing, you want to eat regularly. Often enough, when we say we want to lose weight or have a healthy body weight, we go from overeating to undereating. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy. That's just setting yourself up for failure, setting yourself up for binge eating, for deprivation. We don't want that. Okay? You're going to end up sometimes with that love-hate relationship with food. Well, we shouldn't have that. We should always have a love relationship with food. So one thing that you can do is eat regularly. Eat 3 meals a day. Okay? Having well-spaced meals throughout the day will keep your blood glucose levels under control, which help regulate your appetite. If you go longer than 4 to 6 hours without food, your blood glucose can start to drop. The body's protective response is to feel hungry, so you start to crave food. If we wait until we go too hungry, we often don't make sensible choices, right? If the junk food's out there and you're hungry, then most likely people will go for the junk. Make choices and will go on an impulse kind of thing. Grab high foods in calories, fat, and sugar. Some people may not have a sense of feeling hungry because it's been a long history of dieting. Okay. What are some hunger signals? Does your body give you signals besides of having those hunger pains? Do you get headaches, upset stomach, feeling cranky, tired? Pay attention and ask yourself before you put something in your mouth to say, am I actually hungry? When is the last time I ate? You may just be tired or thirsty or bored. Grab a drink of water instead. Or if you really are hungry, you'll maybe force you to make the healthier choice. Space your meals 4 to 6 hours. Your main meal should be 4 to 6 hours apart. Include a healthy snack when needed to avoid feeling hungry. Okay? A potential eating schedule could be you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, have breakfast at 7, get to work at 8, have a small snack at 10, lunch around 12, 12:30, then your second snack around the 3:30 time frame, that 3 o'clock mid-afternoon slump kind of thing, and then supper around 6:30. That's kind of how a typical day should be. I know everybody's day is different from day to day, and you can't always plan that way. But something similar to that, depending on if you're working shift work or on the road or whatever it may be. Include breakfast every day. Most of us would agree that breakfast is a more important most important meal of the day. But yet, almost 40% of all Canadians don't eat breakfast regularly. Right? What's up with that? Why? Okay. When you're eating breakfast, include at least 3 of the 4 food groups. So you have some grains, have some protein, some dairy, some fruits, and some veggies. Try not just one, like a bagel with butter, for example. Right? You're only getting 1 of the food groups, and then you're adding on your other food groups. Weight management for those who eat breakfast. For weight management, for those who eat breakfast are more successful at losing and maintaining their weight loss over the long term. It helps wake up your body system, your metabolisms, and replenishes that energy that your body has used up overnight. Okay, so have you ever noticed, like my husband is always saying, if I eat breakfast in the morning, I'm starving by 10 o'clock. He's revved up that metabolism, right? So it's good. Pay attention to Canada's food guides. Okay, Canada's food guides have protein, vegetables, fruit, and grains that are all part of your healthy diet. And we need to have kind of all 4 food groups because they got a variety of nutrients which are found in our carbohydrates, our proteins, our fats, minerals, and vitamins. Your plate, the Canada Food Guide plate, shows the basics of healthy eating. Choose more plant-based foods such as vegetables and fruits and grains is the key to the right nutrition balance. Okay. You should be satisfied after your meals. You should not be feeling full and bloated. You should be feeling energized, I guess. Okay. So if you don't have time to measure and weigh your food per se, there's a quick calculation that you can do with just looking at your plate. Fill half of your plate with vegetables and fruit. Most people don't eat enough of them. So they are loaded with vitamins and mineral and are typically low in calories. A quarter of your plate should be with protein foods. Among protein foods, try to get plant-based more often, or some fish. And a quarter of your plate should be whole grain products. And we're talking about brown rice, whole grain pasta, quinoa, and other whole grains. Make water your choice of drink. Another way to kind of to be healthier is to stop drinking all these fancy coffees and lattes and fruit juices and stuff like that and Gatorades when they're not necessary. Water should be your drink of choice. And those types of beverages should be your treats, not your daily thing. So then, by doing that, so when you look at that, you can compare your plate to a typical restaurant meal. Generally, half the plate is filled with meat, and most of the other side is filled with some kind of starchy choice. The vegetables tend to be there basically to provide color, right? So when you go to a restaurant and then you think about the Canadian Food Guide, think about how if it's a balanced meal. Track your progress. Keeping a record is essential for weight wellness. Okay? So what you're going to learn when you start tracking your progress, tracking your food, tracking your whatever it may be, you'll really learn how much you're actually eating. You'll have a better understanding of the relationship you have with food. You'll cue in into your eating patterns and your physical activity patterns. It also helps with your goal setting and making your action plan. So you can start by doing a journal. Make it a priority and be honest. Be honest with yourself. Write everything down for 1 week. Include when you've eaten, how much you've eaten, and how it is prepared. And where you've eaten can be kind of like a side note. So when you've eaten, morning, afternoon, evening kind of thing. Was it deep fried? Was it grilled? Was it boiled kind of thing? Because it makes a difference. Fried versus grilled is a huge difference in fat. Okay, and how much you ate. That's a big thing as well. We tend to kind of have lost control on our portion controls. We've lost it. We don't typically care. We eat. We want to eat more for our money kind of thing. Or it's so good we got to finish our plate. But we don't realize the damage that we can do by overeating. Okay. Don't guess your portions. Make sure you have your tools. Get your measuring spoons, your cups, your scales. Measure the glass and mugs and the plates that you use more often, right? So you have an idea what a cup looks like rather than just filling up the whole bowl. Note the portions indicated on your food labels, okay? How to cut calories? There's 2 ways. You can eat fewer calories and you can burn more calories, right? So you can burn 500 calories more, you can eat 500 calories less, you can do a combination of the both. It all equals to the amount of calories in and out kind of thing. But by adding physical activity, you're not just doing a weight wellness, you're becoming physically healthy as well. Improving your cardiovascular, your heart, your muscles, your strength, your flexibility. So doing a combination of both is like the key answer. Remember that small steps go a long way. Move more and you'll burn more calories. Eat less and can result into big results. Having 1 cookie less or 1 cup of coffee less or less sugar in your coffee, it all adds up. The benefits of physical activity. Okay, there's tons. I'm going to go through them quickly. It improves efficiency of your lungs and the heart, improves muscle and tone, increases your stamina. With that, you're able to cope with stress better, you have less anxiety and depression, and you're feeling more confident about yourself and your decisions. You have a controlled weight, you're able to control your weight, improve blood lipids, lower blood pressure, and improve blood glucose. And by having that done, it increases your metabolism and improves your bone density. Those are all benefits of physical activity. An overview of the physical activity is you want plenty of endurance and cardiovascular aerobics into your day. What are some aerobic activities that you can do? Walking, swimming, biking, playing hockey, going to the gym, dancing, All of the above. They're all perfect for endurance activities. Endurance, good for your heart. You're going to want to include some flexibility activities to prevent stiffness of the body joints. Do some strength activities to stimulate all your muscles so that they can support all your joints. What does active living mean to you? Right? So there's active living and there's fitness. Active living is something that you do every day, like walking your dogs or plan to run your errands, but doing by walking during lunch hour. Cut the television time. Make an active date with your friend. Take the baby for a walk. Try a new class. Take the stairs at work rather than the elevators. Try a walking meeting. This is something that's been successful for us. We thoroughly enjoy them. Plan different activities for every season. We're lucky here in Nova Scotia. We have all 4 seasons and we can find all kinds of different activities to prevent boredom during those seasons. Take advantage of what Mother Nature brings to us. So someone in a better overall physical fitness, cardio, strength, and flexibility has less chance of getting injured. For example, the recruits are better passing their fitness standards with less injuries compared to those barely passing their standards during basic. Someone that performs pre-season sport-specific mixed drills that contain sports and agility exercises 10 to 12 weeks before their season, their sports season, reduces their chance of getting injured. Right now, weightlifting is the 4th leading cause of injuries in the Canadian Armed Forces, suggesting that strengthening exercises can cause injuries. We suspect that the approach and the technique to strengthening exercises may be the cause of injuries, but there's not enough details to explain the result that's going on with this chart that was reviewed. So more research has to be done on why people are getting hurt in the strength training. Lifestyle and energy expenditure. So we all know that lifestyle from the 70s, 1970s, 80s, 90s compared to now, excuse me, has changed dramatically. We've become a lot more sedentary in our ways and in our jobs compared to the way it was when our grandparents were young and active and working. So building a physical activity into your daily routine can help increase your activity levels. For example, you could walk to work or carry your groceries. Be creative on how you become active. Limit your time, like I mentioned, limit your time watching TV or being in front of the computer during your leisure time. Move yourself. Use active transportation to get places. Walk, bike, instead of taking the car whenever you can. I want to give you an example here. Let's say that there is someone who's 150 to 160 pounds, doesn't do anything, is very sedentary. Couch potato, I'm going to call it, will burn about 1,700 calories a month. Okay? And sedentary way, I will define it as being less than 10 minutes of continuous activity per day. Okay? Compared to somebody who's active, and active can be defined as including 30 minutes of moderate physical activity per day and finding other daily opportunities during the day to increase energy expenditure. A couch potato will burn about 1,700 calories a month. The active person will burn 10,500 calories a month. The difference of 8,800 calories a month, and this energy is equivalent to 2.5 pounds a month or 30 pounds a year. Right? It's huge. By just doing a little bit more movement in your daily life. Canadian Physical Activity Guidelines recommend that we do endurance training 4 to 7 times a week for a minimum of 150 minutes a week. of moderate to vigorous effort, at least 150 to 300 minutes a week for moderate effort for weight loss or weight maintenance. Strength training should be done 2 to 4 days a week, and flexibility should be done 4 to 7 days a week, daily, pretty much. Those are the recommendations. Take a minute and reflect on what you're currently doing. Are you meeting the minimal requirements for your physical activity guidelines? Are you well above and beyond? Or are you completely under? Right? Tips for staying active can be choosing an activity that you enjoy. Sometimes we've kind of forgotten to make fitness or to make active living fun. Find the fun in active living. Find the fun in your fitness. Do something that brings happiness to you and that gets you sweating at the same time. Plan ahead. Find a workout buddy or join a class or make time specifically to get your workout done or to be active. Make it a priority. Make it part of your schedule. Prepare for those times where you may stray from your program and start again. It's okay. Life happens. We have barriers that happen, pop out left, right, and center, especially during COVID. It's okay if you kind of go away from it, but get back there. Once you're able to find your routine again, start it over. Build the activity into your daily routine. The consistency is the key. And find a friend or a group to help you stay motivated. Being your own detective. Keep track of your steps, right? So find your baseline. What are you currently doing? Are you walking? Are you playing sports? Are you going to the gym? Are you running? Find your baseline, whatever it may be. If you want, you can find their baseline. If it's a stepping or if it's running, it could be a distance, it could be a time. Find your baseline and then compare it with your daily goals. Be realistic. Okay? Let's say that you do 15,000 steps a day and you want to improve those steps. Okay? You're going to want to increase by the 10% rule. When you're increasing, whether you're going from sedentary to active or active to elite, whatever it may be, you want to progress by the 10% rule. Nice and slow. You want to avoid injuries. Okay. SMART goal setting. Be specific. A specific goal has a much greater chance of being accomplished than a general goal. You must state your goal as specific as possible. Make sure that your goal is recognizing what you want and not what you should. It's important to set a goal that you have control over. Choose a goal that represents your behavior and not the outcome of your behavior. For example, choose a goal related to healthier eating or physical activity and not your weight. I will be eating 5 servings of vegetables, not counting potatoes, every day. I will do an extra 20 minutes of walking 4 days a week. Those are very specific. Goals that are too general, such as I will eat better, or I will get in shape, or I will lose 5 pounds, are not specific enough. Or lose weight. I guess 5 pounds is a little bit more specific. Have your goal be like an instruction telling you on what to do. Measurable. You may need to have a way to measure your progress. Progress will feel good, and measuring it will help you stay on track. If your goal is to eat more vegetables, tracking the number of vegetables that you eat every day will help you evaluate your success. Achievable, right? Goals should be ambitious, but not impossible. Sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. Often we're too hard on ourselves. Do not set yourself up for failure. If you know that you have a hard time eating your fruits and vegetables every day, then maybe start with including 1 vegetable per day, not 5, for example. Or if your goal is to increase your activity by 20 minutes a day, Start by something like that rather than joining a high intensity workout class and hit it or something like that. Choose goals that it will make you confident, that you're confident that you can reach, but still a little bit stretched for you to reach. Break your large goals into smaller goals and create a plan to do all the steps that you need. Be realistic. Your goal should be meaningful to you. It should be set by you and not by somebody else. Changes have to come within you. Anybody can tell you until you turn blue in the face that you need to move more or change your eating habits. But you have to want to make that change. Your goal should be inspiring enough that motivates you to success. If you're not determined to meet your goal, obstacles will be very difficult to overcome. When you identify your goals that are more important to you, you begin to figure out ways in which they become true. You develop the attitude, abilities, and the skills to reach them. I can do it attitude. Time-based. Your goals should be grounded with a time frame. When will you finish your goal? Someday it won't work. But if you anchor it with a time frame, by December 1st, you've set an unconscious mind into motion to begin working on your goal. Stepping it up. Okay? Like I mentioned, the 5%, the 10% rule, 5 to 10% rule. So eating out smart. I'm going to talk about this a little bit because I feel like it falls into goal setting as well. Eating out smart. Sometimes we eat out, and how many of you say, I don't care. When I go to a restaurant, I am eating what I want. I don't care on how many calories and fats and sugar and salt I consume. Right? So hopefully I can kind of help you make it more aware that eating out, you can have your cake and eat it too. Okay. Excuse me, just let me go down here for a bit. Change this. So, when I eat out, I don't worry about nutrition. 63% of Canadians surveyed agreed with that statement. When I don't eat out, I don't worry about nutrition. Whether you should think about nutrition or not when eating out really depends on how often you eat out. If you're heading out for that special once-a-year occasion, anniversary, birthday, then maybe not. However, if you eat out every day or several times a week, then the foods you choose when eating out will have a significant impact on your overall nutritional intake. Think before you go. Make a decision before you go. Okay? Will this meal be healthy or not? Sometimes we need to indulge and have what we want, and sometimes we don't. Think back to our 80 to 20% rule, which we've discussed before in other webinars. If you are eating with a healthy mind, you will decide where you will eat. You can phone ahead, or when you get to the restaurant, you can ask the chef to accommodate your request to make it a little bit healthier. Decide how much you will eat before you go. If you know the portion sizes are larger than you really want to eat, then go ahead. Split your meal in half. Okay? Or plan ahead to eat that special dessert and share it with somebody else. Plan your beverage consumption. Wine, beer, regular soft drinks can all add lots of calories. Right? So by simply having water instead of a beer or a glass of wine can help maintain that nutrition lifestyle, wellness lifestyle. Sorry. So get the facts. Get the facts before you go. Ask your server, how is the food prepared? Is it prepared in butter? Is it deep fried? Right? Is there lots of extra fat added to it? Look for items that are steamed, baked, broiled, braised, poached, or grilled. Those are healthier options. Limit your sauté, pan-fried, deep-fried, battered, or crispy items. The choices that you make and the calories can really add up quickly. And the choices you make can certainly make a difference. So I'm looking at a menu here, and menu 1 has a small hamburger, a side salad, green salad with a light dressing, and a 1% milk, which has 460 calories, 16 grams of fat, 6 of it which is saturated fat, and 810 milligrams of sodium. I'm going to menu item 2, a quarter pound of a hamburger, large fries, and a medium cola. We've now gone up from 460 calories to 1200 calories, 47 grams of fat compared to 16 grams of fat, 18 grams of saturated fat compared to 6, and over 1,000 milligrams of sodium compared to just above 800. So making small changes can make big differences. Right? I'm going to talk to you about another one, Chinese food. So we all love our Chinese food, don't we? But you can make healthier options while you're there. For example, you can have your fried rice, sweet and sour pork, 4 chicken balls, and a vegetable egg roll. That has over 1,000 calories, 53 grams of fat, which 6 grams of saturated fat, and over 2,800 milligrams of sodium. Menu 2 has your steamed rice instead of fried rice, pineapple chicken instead of sweet and sour pork, mixed vegetables rather than your chicken balls, and vegetable egg roll. You'll be cutting down your calories from 1,160 to 820 calories. You'll be cutting down your fat from 53 grams of fat to 24 grams of fat, and cutting your saturated fat in half from 6 to 3. And your sodium intake from 2,870 milligrams to 1,143 milligrams. So you can see that making those small changes can help you a lot when you're eating out, especially if you're eating out a lot. I'm going to try to post those two comparisons online after this. So I'm just going to test your knowledge here a little bit. How many calories would you find in 2 slices of a medium pepperoni pizza and a can of cola? Would you say 456, 656, or 756 for 2 slices of pizza and a medium cola? I got nobody here, so nobody's going to answer, so I'll tell you the answer. The answer is 756 for 2 slices of pizza and a pop. That's quite a bit. How could you make that healthier? How could you make that 2 pepperoni slices of pizza healthier in that pop? Well, you could switch to a veggie pizza, for example, and make water the drink of your choice. You could ask to go with easy on the cheese or ask for a low-calorie fat cheese. Thin crust versus thick crust, and whole wheat versus regular crust, right? So you can still have your pizza, but maybe make some modifications to it. Okay, how many of you enjoy those medium iced cappuccinos or those frosted drinks? They can be delicious, but they can pack on those calories. So how many grams of fat would you find in a medium iced cappuccino? Would you say A, 7, B, 10, or C, 15? I have one person here. You going to answer? And in a medium iced cap, the answer is 360 calories, 15 grams of fat, which 9 grams of it is saturated fat, for something that you drink. Just a little treat, right? Well, that little treat is costing you 15 grams of fat and 360 calories. So how can you make it healthier? Ask for them to put milk instead of cream in your drink. Or you can even substitute for another drink completely. Go for a fruit juice, 100% fruit juice, or a chocolate milk instead. Or even better, go for your water. My last one here. When you compare foods, so we go to Tim Hortons, for example, or any restaurant for that matter, and we are trying to make the healthier option. You're going to have your treat, but you want to treat yourself with a healthier option. Are you going to go for the muffin, the cookie, or the donut? Right? So depending what the healthier option is, we're looking at trans fat and saturated fat and the amount of calories, sugars. So the values can change from one category to the other, right? But on average, from the ones that I'm looking at here, a muffin can have between 290, a commercial muffin, 290 to 430 kilocalories, which has 2.5 to 19 grams of fat, which can be anywhere from 0.5 to 5 grams of saturated fat. And for sodium, between 510 and 790 milligrams of sodium. That's your muffin. Your cookie, 180 to 280 calories, 8 to 16 grams of fat, which 2.5 to 8 grams of fat would be saturated, and 160 to 290 milligrams of sodium. So far, your muffin has about 430 calories and up to 19 grams of fat. Your cookie has 280 calories, up to 16 grams of fat. And then we're looking at your donut, 210 to 360 calories, 7 to 23 grams of fat, which can range from 3.5 to 10 grams of saturated fat, and 170 to 350 milligrams of sodium. Right? So, are you surprised that your cookie or your donut may actually have less calories and less fat than your muffin? Right? Another way to make these things, these food items healthier is to cook them yourself. Make them yourself so you can control the amount of ingredients that you put in. Okay. Be label salad savvy. Not all dressings are created equal. Some dressings can have lots of calories and fat. Right? So try to stay away from creamy dressings, for example. Go for the dressings that have a vinaigrette, for example. A vinaigrette, balsamic vinaigrette, for example, could have 117 calories, where a regular Caesar dressing could have 237 calories. When you compare the fat between a balsamic vinaigrette of 10.5 and a Caesar dressing from 25.8. And again, it varies from product to product, so that's why it's super important to read your labels. Choosing healthier foods more often and can also be by limiting the quantity of toppings or on the sides. Instead of special sauces, creamy dressings, tartar sauces, and gravies, try different stuff like salsa, mustard, ketchup, and low-fat dressings. Your alternative for a side. We all enjoy our fries with our clubhouse sandwich when we go to our restaurant, right? We all enjoy our fries. And our fries are fine once in a while, but if you're eating out every day, then your fries are going to have an impact on your health. So instead of choosing your typical sides, such as your fries, your poutine, your onion rings, your garlic bread, etc., your hash browns, choose healthier alternatives such as a baked potato or a rice, a side salad, fruit salad. Double on those vegetables. You don't have to have what they ask. You can ask for more vegetables. And making a simple switch from a white roll to a whole grain roll. If you need to have your dessert, think of something light, like some fresh fruit or a frozen yogurt or a strawberry. And share it or ask for a smaller size. Watch your portion sizes. Try to avoid supersizing or doubling the sizes, right? or those all-you-can-drink fountain pops. It adds up. And limit your alcohol. If you're looking to become healthier in your ways, your daily life, limit the following, follow the low-risk drinking guidelines. For women, it's 0 to 2 standard drinks a day, and for men, it's 0 to 3 standard drinks a day. Per week, it should be no more than 10 for women, and for men, it should be no more than 15. And if you're going out for a party or something, and you should be indulging, you should allow yourself 1 extra drink. So 4 for men and 3 for women. And those are for health benefits. And a standard drink could be a 5-ounce glass of wine, a 12-ounce bottle of beer, or a 1.5 ounce of hard liquor, your whiskey, your gin, or whatever it may be. So alcohol can detriment your progress. It had lots of hidden calories. The drinks that people mix with them, the juices, the pops, and stuff like that, adds to the amount of calories and sugars that people consume. People say, oh, it's so hard to consume 8 glasses of water a day. But when you look at it, and we go out for a night on drinking, for example, is it hard for us to consume that many glasses of wine, for example, or beers? And maybe for some, maybe not for others. How does it all add up? I'm looking at a picture here. It's got 2 beers and a cup of peanuts, which equals 1,150 calories. Would you be satisfied with 2 beers and a cup of peanuts? Or I'm looking at the other thing on the other food menu, which is the same amount of calories, which is 1 beer, a plate of pretzels, a plate of food which has salmon, rice, and some vegetables, a glass of water, and a sherbet. Right? So making those choices, you don't have to be hungry to be able to be successful. Making better choices. Okay? So to kind of put this in a nutshell, set your SMART goal. Write it where it's visible and where you can see it. Make sure that your goal represents what you really want to achieve and not what you think you should achieve. Think of possible obstacles and barriers and identify solutions to overcome them. This way you're being proactive. Be forgiving. If you don't quite reach your goal this week, put it behind you and look forward to the next challenge. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Reward yourself with non-food reward. Be sure to celebrate when you've achieved the goal. You're worth it. Every achievement deserves recognition, no matter how big or how small they are. Your SMART goal setting, remember, be specific on what you want to achieve. Make sure it's measurable. Have a clear benchmark on what you want to succeed at. Make sure it's achievable. Allow you to stretch, but within limits, within reasons. Be realistic. How much does it matter to you? And time. Can you record your progress? Remember, eat regularly. Include your breakfast. Aim for that right balance. Half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables, a quarter should be grain, and a quarter should be protein. Track your food intake. Maybe check in to see what you're currently ingesting, where you are. Set your gut baseline so you can make a difference. Same thing with your physical activity. Track your physical activity. See where you currently are and see how you can make a progressful change. Follow that 10% rule. Small changes will lead to success, not injury, and not crashing and binge eating. Start walking. Start counting your steps. Keep moving. And remember, when you're eating out, plan ahead. Practice the low-risk drinking guidelines. Be mindful of the calories that you find in alcohol and at the restaurants. That concludes my presentation for today. I hope that you were able to learn something and do some self-reflecting on what you want for goals, your current eating habits and your current exercise habits. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our health promotion office. Lisa and I are always there, always looking to help. And take a look at our schedules. We have a virtual schedule, we have an in-class schedule, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for tuning in. Take care.